Welcome to part 13 of our Dying Light 2 Stay Human Developer Tools Guide. In this video, we'll take a closer look at ways in which we can add music to our game. Select our level to open and set it as our target. We'll start by looking up DevTools Music Prefab in the Prefab browser. Just typing DevTools should be enough. Once it shows up, click on it and place it on the map. Press Escape. This prefab simply informs the game that we're going to be using music on our map. Now, if we want to actually add music, we will need one more thing. Search for our Audio Music Zone. Drop it somewhere in the viewport. Make sure your grid toolbar is set to Local for easier zone transformations. This zone is very important since it will mark the area that will turn on our sound. They're like ambient zones from the previous episode, but for music. So let's go ahead and scale that up for the purposes of this tutorial. In the attributes of the Audio Music Zone, we go down to Fields. If we expand the Sound drop-down menu, we will find these two properties. On Enter Event, which will trigger the event once we enter this zone, and On Leave Event, which triggers the event once we exit it. Like in previous videos, events act as commands that the system has to carry out. Of course, in this episode, our commands will mainly pertain to music. So let's choose our tune. Press the three dots of On Enter Event Name. Every music that's been made available in Developer Tools starts with the prefix DevTools _music. When we type that out, in the filter search bar, we will see all the commands, which we can pick from. Choose the first one for now and confirm your choice. Follow the same process for On Leave Event Name, only this time we're going to choose a different event, called DevTools Music Stop. Press OK. This specific command is going to pause the music whenever we leave our designated area. And just like we wanted, we've got our music zone properly set up. We can double-check if it worked by entering it. And then once we leave it, our sound should disappear. The event commands work. Feel free to play around with the Enter Event and Leave Event features. For instance, you don't always have to set your On Leave Event to DevTools Music Stop. As you can see, there are many more commands. Like you can tell the system to transition to another piece of music if you want. Let's change the Leave event name to something like DevTools Music Chase Day. So now, when we go inside this zone, we can hear the music start. And when we leave our zone, the music changed to DevTools Music Chase Day. Let's change it back to DevTools Music Stop. And to refresh our event, you need to fly in. And then fly out. It's all quiet here. If you're ever thinking of more complex operations, yes, you can create smaller music zones inside bigger music zones. The smaller one will always take priority over the bigger one. We can go ahead and delete that for the moment. Seems like we're done, but there's one more crucial thing left to address. Parkour music is a type of interactive music that follows your parkour efficiency by adapting to your movement during traversal. This process is a bit more complicated, but only by a little. Select your music zone and change the Enter Event command. Pull up the search bar like we did before, so press the three dots, and this time type DevTools Music Parkour to have an easier time finding the thing we're looking for. Let's go with Dark01 in this example. Press OK, leave your Leave Event command set to DevTools Music Stop. Let's fly into this area to make sure our inputs work. So far so good. But if you want to make the music interactive, you're always going to need two additional prefabs. In the prefab browser, search for a rooftop box. Move it onto the viewport, preferably on the rooftop surface. Notice how they look like room boxes from the previous tutorial. Press Escape. Press on the magenta sphere. Feel free to readjust, reposition, and scale it up. Let's match its size to our audio music zone. This prefab was named Rooftop Box because we tend to use it for rooftop parkour sequences, but its function is not locked only to rooftops. Don't let the name misguide you. This prefab works in any area and on any surface. The placement and size of this box can be whatever and wherever you'd like it to be. It really all depends on your creative vision. The area can be as big or as small as you want it to be. You can even make it so that the interactive parkour music for rooftops also shows up while roaming the streets. You just have to cover the ground level area. It's all up to you. The only thing that matters in the end is that you connect your rooftop box to Room Logic once you're done setting it up. You've done something similar to this with the Room Box at the end of the previous episode, so you should have no problem. But in case you need a nice reminder, search Rooftop Logic in the prefab browser. Place it inside of your rooftop box. Jump to Attributes window. Lock this window by pressing the icon in the upper right corner of the Attributes window. Extend the drop-down slot called General, grab the rooftop box, and drop it in M Areas. As of now, the game will know that this area's music zone will behave like a rooftop, which really just means it will have interactive music playing during parkour. When it comes to interactive music, it's worth noting that you will not hear it in the editor the same way that you would hear regular music zones. However, it will work in the game, so let's check that. Unlock the Attributes window for the rooftop box, and finally save and reload our level. Now, feel free to preview it for yourself by clicking play, and press yes to save your progress. Run around to observe how the music will escalate. Everything checks out. And that's all for part 13. Thanks for watching.